Elhain! Is this not why you were here?
Hi guys, I'm Gravy here, and this is a Raid Shadow Legends video. Welcome to Arena School, where basically I teach myself all about the champions of Raid Shadow Legends. As a lot of you know, there's like 500 plus champions in the game. I've been playing for like a year, less than a year, like 9 months, 10 months, and I still don't know them all, not by a long shot. So as my roster expands, as I get deeper into the game, I'm trying to use Arena in order to learn more about the champions, so I know what I'm facing, so I know what to go up against. However, in this one, there's a little bit of a special circumstance. But before I get into all of that, I drop Raid Shadow Legends videos every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and DC Legends videos every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Marvel Future Revolutions videos like intermittently until time comes where I can find that plays a permanent role. So please like, please subscribe, but if you don't like it, hit subscribe and hit dislike. I'm okay with that as well. So as we get into it, the reason why this one is a bit of a special circumstance is I have had all 4 of these champions. I am very familiar with 2 of them. The other 2, one of which I haven't really leveled up, and one that I'm going to, but I want to see her in action first and see how she performs. But just to get into it, Scyl of the Drakes. If you're new to the game, Scyl of the Drakes is a daily login champion. I think you get her after 6 months. She's an incredible champion. She is one of the best in the game, despite the fact that she's free. On her A1, attacks one enemy, has a 20% chance of placing a decreased speed. That can be booked up to 40%. Also has a 30% chance of decreasing the turn meter by 15%. That can be booked up to 50%. Attacks all enemies on her A2 wing beat. It attacks all enemies 2 times. Each hit has a 45% chance when booked of placing a stun debuff. That seems, honestly, if I'm being like frank, it feels as though that hits more than 50% of the time. So say what you will, but that is an awesome ability. Then revives an ally on her Phoenix right, revives an ally with 50% HP and places a 50% ally protect on them for 2 turns with the 4-turn cooldown when it's booked. That's also an awesome ability. However, I don't like using her as my main reviver. That is because I'm a bit spoiled. I have Raglan, who has this incredible revive on a 2-turn cooldown that gives 75% turn meter, and I also have Ursula. So like I use her as like the backup revive instead in case one of my actual revivers falls. However, she's built her damage is based on defense, which means I love damage like defensive based champions because the harder they are to kill, the stronger they hit. That's just awesome to me. Then you have Dark Elhain, who I already have. She's already incredible. I use her in Ice Golem. I use her in against the Frost Spider. I use her against Torment, I believe. Any of the champions that freeze you, I use her. Why is that? Well, because on the A1, attacks one enemy decreases the target's max HP by 30% of the damage inflicted. That's not what I'm looking for. What I'm looking for is actually one of her passives. So let me get into this. Remember Death's Majesty. Places a 50% increased attack buff on this champion for 2 turns, then attacks all enemies. Has a 50% chance of placing a 30% decreased speed debuff. All of that can be booked up to a 75% chance. Now, first passive. Fills this champion's turn meter by 25% and instantly activates Death's Majesty whenever this champion or an ally receives a freeze debuff. This is incredible at all those places that I named before because as anyone on your team gets frozen, she attacks. Then on the other passive, Veins of Ice, instantly removes any freeze debuff on this champion and replaces them with 30% crit rate, 30% crit damage, and 15% strengthen buff whenever an enemy places a freeze buff on this champion. That is nuts good. So like against any kind of freeze champions, any kind of freeze bosses, she's incredible. Now, those are the 2 I'm familiar with. This is the one that I have or had. I might have already fed him. And couldn't really find a place for him. So, Pitiless one. Attacks one enemy 2 times. Each critical hit fills this champion's turn meter by 5%. That's why I liked him in the first place. And that is because I am a huge fan of turn meter manipulation. However, the 10%, the possibility, like 10%, I mean, it's good. I mean, better than nothing. Projectile Burst. Attacks all enemies. Has each critical hit boosts this champion's turn meter by 15%. So if you get all 4 critical hits, then he's going to have 60% turn meter, which I think is also awesome. I mean, maybe I still have him floating around in my vault. Like, these two things sound awesome, especially if he can hit hard. Then the passive. Each critical hit heals the champion by 15% of the damage inflicted. Like, he's sounding good. Am I tripping? Increases ally crit rate in battles by 19%. Am I tripping? Let me check his. I'm going to go to ayumilove.net. This website gets more views from me. Like, seriously. Pitiless one. Yumilove.net, Pitiless one. His multipliers on his A1, 2.2, and then on the A2, 3.9, which on the A2, I guess is decent, especially for an AoE. It's pretty decent damage. On the A1 does not sound like decent damage at all. Not at all. So maybe give him a little boost in damage and then he'd be a boss. And then the aura, I've already read that. So now we go to Rector Drath. Rector Drath is the one that I pulled a while ago. I was ecstatic to pull her. It's just a matter of I've had so many champions to work on that I haven't had a chance to boost her up. I'm just now with Versolf 50 and Ninja's about to be 50. And I don't know if I want to take Versolf or Ninja 6-star yet. I have to pick one and then the other one's going to have to wait a week or two. So don't know what to do. The troubles of a mid-game player who's a low spender. All right, so on the A1, attacks one enemy has a 35% chance of placing a 50% decreased debuff for a decreased attack debuff for 2 turns. So that goes up to a 50% chance decreased defense. That's good. Okay, that's good. That sounds like it'd be good against bosses. But I've heard about her mostly in the arena. Necro Mutation. That sounds disgusting. Heals all allies by 20% of this champion's max HP. Okay. After healing, places a perfect veil buff for 2 turns on all allies with full HP. Cool. Places a 15% continuous heal buff on all, for 1 turn instead on all allies that are less than 100%. So then she's okay. So that's a pretty cool healing ability. All right, I like that. Then the perfect veil. So that's what. Okay. All right. Now revives a spirit form. Revives a single ally with 60% HP. Fills the champion's turn meter by 60%. Places a perfect veil on them for 3 turns on a 4-turn cooldown. That sounds awesome. The perfect veil actually makes it just that much because I have, like I said, I have Raglan who does 100% turn meter and 75% HP. No perfect veil though, but that's on a 2-turn cooldown. Okay, so that's pretty boss. All right, passive. Whenever an ally under veil or perfect veil gets a turn, heals them by 10% of their max HP. Also increases the resistance of all allies under veil or perfect veil by 50. Wow. Okay, now I understand why people like her in the arena so much. Increases ally resist in Doom Tower battles by 55. Which makes me think like maybe she would work in my Scarab team composition. However, I just outfitted my Verges to be able to solo Scarab King. But that wouldn't be a bad place to put her. Because they have a lot of debuffs going on in those boss fights in Doom Tower. So resistance isn't a bad one to have. Okay, so we are going to go at them. The first thing that I think I need to worry about is Rector Drath's ability to buff and put veils. So I'm leaning towards, I could either put in Madame Ceres or Seer. If I put in Seer, then that means she's doing the damage. If I put in Madame Ceres, she's just removing it and adding decreased defense and decreased attack. I want to use, you know what? Okay, so what I'm going to do is, hopefully this goes the way I want it to. Let's go ahead and put in Seer. Do I have anyone that gives increased attack? No. I have legitimately three magic affinity. So I'm going to put in the best who has an awesome AoE, 2 AoE attacks. She's one of the best AoE nukers in the game. So I'm already, should I go for being faster than them and just put in Gorgorob? I'm going to put in Gorgorob as a placeholder right now. I think, oh, this is why. I have it going by affinity and not rank. Gorgorob, we'll put him in. And then we'll put in Ursula, because she'll buff as well. So let's go ahead and put this let's go ahead and go through this. The main thing I'm worried about are the perfect veils / veils from Rector Drath and the continuous heals. So if we can get Ursula to buff before Seer, and if the entire team goes before them, hopefully we will be. Oh, I always forget that Seer leads with her. Oh, wow. That didn't matter much. I always forgot that Seer leads with her A2 and not her A3. I need to change that. So now Seer's going to do her A3, and it should take out everybody as long as we're not stunned. All right, cool. So there goes that. Okay, so that, and to be fair, their the team power level was much lower than mine. So of course, and honestly, the main goal of this wasn't to have some like long drawn out battle. It was to learn those champions, and I did. So I think I will call it a video from there. Pitiless one, I'm wondering if he is in my vault, because now I'm trying to check right now, see if there's another Rector Drath on my board, but there isn't. There's another Seal of the Drakes, but let me go check and see if Pitiless one is still in my vault, or did I feed him already? I've gotten impatient with certain things. I just started feeding a lot of Nope, not buying stuff. I've gotten like impatient. I started feeding a lot of champions, and I think I've talked about this before, where it's like, okay, great, at a certain point you can collect things, but right now in the game where I am, I need to be more focused on completing missions and farming and building my team, as opposed to like having every champion that I can locked away somewhere so I can deal with them maybe later. Yeah, no, I think I fed him. Okay. I mean, I liked his kit from a turn meter manipulation point of view, but I was not really happy about the multiplier, so I don't really think he was a damage dealer, so I'm not really too sad about that. But when Pitiless one comes back around, maybe I'll invest in him. In any case, thank you guys for watching all the way through. Please like, please subscribe, and I'll see you next time.